archiving and records management. Don't just save it, archive it. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. Augmendino. Many successful business people will tell you when they first started their companies, the saving of records was not a priority issue in establishing the business. Until they had to send a tax return for the business and the accountant, Cousin Nathan, came down on them like a ton of bricks for those very records. After that tax season, they got a box and shoved every little paper they thought Cousin Nathan would need into it. However, Cousin Nathan was less impressed than ever at the shoebox attempt and advised them to hire a records keeper, or they wouldn't be in business long enough for the next tax season. True story. The Business Optimisation Training Institute trains business people. We cannot reiterate the importance of proper record keeping and archiving. It is the history of the company, and if the historic record is kept poorly, the business will become history. With this in mind, boti.co.za presents a workshop on archiving and records management. This is the official company policy on how records are maintained, including the standard which must be kept, the system of management, and the responsible parties. This workshop will cover every kind of business need from the startup company to the multinational giants. We begin at the beginning with defining records and archiving versus record keeping. We then go on to define what precisely a record is and introduce briefly record programs, management of systems, and developing standards. ARMA International is one of many international organizations who develop standards for records management and archives. We take a brief look at the similar standards most organizations address, including quality control, capturing and retrieval, and proper file conversion. Some documents are legally required to be kept by companies, and this is the basis for the introduction of context and technique. We move on to the classification of documents, their functionality, and we teach participants how to prioritize, assess, and review their records or archives. There are two ways to keep records, either paper records or electronically, and we will discuss both these systems and how each system operates for specific purposes, such as metadata. Metadata is relevant to both paper and electronic records. Its function is to define different records such as receipts. We will also introduce participants about hybrid systems and the pros and cons thereof. Tip: the life cycle of records. Documents are created or received. Records are identified. Then, documents are captured for record keeping. Then, records are stored, used, or maintained. Then, records may be current or not current. Then, records are assessed and action is taken. Records are identified as in use, thus necessary to maintain, or necessary to dispose of, or necessary to archive. We finish off our workshop by teaching participants how to appraise records and the taxonomy of value, which identifies primary value of records and secondary value. All documents are retained or discarded through this value system. The last word goes to record maintenance and the various processes it involves. Our courses are held throughout South Africa, including Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, Bloemfontein, East London, and other smaller centers. For further information, please go to book or request an instant automatic quote on boti.co.za/courses/archiving and records keeping course, or our email info@boti.co.za, or our phone number +27 11 882 8853.